Good morning, radio buddies. We've had some fun this morning, but I got to be honest, my heart is heavy, and it's been heavy for a very long time. I host a radio show. I'm expected to talk about all sorts of things, but it seems I have to avoid talking about all the things that really matter. And it's especially hard with the thing that's happening in Ottawa. It's like, am I supposed to talk about it? Am I allowed to talk about it? Can I say something without getting in trouble? And so I end up just coming in here. I walk into the studio, put on my headphones, and I think, okay, here I am. What silly, stupid thing that doesn't really matter can I talk about today? It weighs heavy on me not to share my honest feelings and commentary about what's happening around us. And I used to kind of mention little things here and there, political things about what's happening in the pandemic. And I would do that. And it ended up just wearing down the relationship I had with my bosses, to be honest. And, one morning, like 6 months ago, I shared my opposition to the passports. And it was never really the same again after that. Things really changed. I paid a very heavy price for saying that. And I begged for forgiveness to the people that needed me to say that. I promised I wouldn't say anything else controversial or post anything about it on Instagram. And my opposition to mandates and passports, those things would just stay locked in my head. And, because I wanted to protect myself, protect my co-host, protect our families from unemployment. But honestly, I just feel like a piece of me died. I feel like I became like a sellout or something. I don't know what the right word is, but I just feel so many things I want to say. And, but there's a price to pay when you do. If you're not going along with what everyone else is saying, this radio show sucks without another point of view. The whole media landscape sucks without another point of view. It's just like the last 6 months, I felt like the crazy person in media, no one is, is no one else going to speak up and say that this is kind of crazy? I just feel like I'm trying to stay on my best behavior so that I can be liked again, so that I can keep my job.
How are we supposed to know what's happening in the world for real if the news isn't telling us? If you think the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa is a racist movement, you have been tricked. You've been fooled. This isn't about race or health or Nazi flags or masks. It's about trying to keep our children off a digital ID that will control every aspect of their lives. Radio doesn't have a history of letting you say goodbye on your last day. I love you guys. Love over fear.
Yes. Woo! Kid Carson.
What you just heard was the farewell address of radio personality Kid Carson of Z95.3 of Vancouver, Canada, in the spirit of former Fox affiliate reporter Ivory Hecker, former CBS affiliate reporter April Moss, as well as Allison Morrow, and so many other reporters that have come out in the last several months or year and just said, we had enough. Everything you're being told and are fed through what are supposed to be trusted news organizations is a lie. It isn't what you think it is. And that was Kid Carson and just letting his people know, even on a radio show like that everything they're being told about the Freedom Convoy and the truckers there in Ottawa, Canada, and the movement against the mandate is a lie. All of this push from Justin Trudeau and about swastikas and or Confederate flags, racism, is not true. And it's one thing to be given one's opinion, which may not be 100% accurate. It's another to knowingly spread false information about what's actually going on in order to deceive the masses. And that's what Kid Carson is accusing his radio show of doing, and that is, again, intentionally spreading I hate to use the word, but false, and I'll say false information about what's going on the ground. By the way, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Your subscriptions go a long way with allowing me to put out more content, and if you are already subscribed, don't forget to smash that like button, comment on this channel. Your interactions on this video does help the video beat the YouTube algorithm, trying to suppress any alternative news and their information. And don't forget to smash that notification bell, because YouTube is seriously not notifying many already current subscribers of the latest content from a number of YouTubers, myself included, from being notified of when new content is out. So even if you smashed on it before, hit it again just to be sure that it goes through for the next time around. Again, going back to the topic at hand, if you haven't heard, there is a Freedom Convoy, a truckers rally, if you will, in Ottawa, Canada, that the mainstream media did its best to try to suppress and act like it wasn't happening, to try to limit the number of supporters and or individuals who would come out for this convoy during the week leading up to it. And then when it actually happened, I think they were extremely surprised with the turnout and massive support in numbers, and it was too big for them to hide. This has spawned a massive movement potentially around the world, as even Paris is now trying to do what they can to stop a convoy occurring in the city of Paris. I believe there's one set here in the United States as well. With contrary reports, I have to stay on top of the messages in Telegram, but there's some talk of individuals here in the United States doing one during the Super Bowl, starting in the Super Bowl, another one planned to start a convoy to DC on March the 1st, 2022. By the way, if you've already given money through GoFundMe, by the way, if you haven't heard of the controversy and GoFundMe deciding to side with the Canadian government regarding to the lies about what's happening on the ground in Ottawa, and them deciding not to disperse the funds to the people. By the way, if you haven't gotten your money yet and you have donated, actually do what I would say, go through your bank and their credit card and report it as a fraudulent transaction and or services never rendered, to try to get your money back, as opposed to filling out the form that I mentioned on my previous video through GoFundMe, because if you do it through the form that GoFundMe gives you, they won't be charged for anything. However, if you go through your bank and issue it as services never rendered, fraudulent transaction, take your pay, they get charged a chargeback fee, GoFundMe, and they deserve it because of what they're trying to pull here. And if you would like to donate some money, give to the charity foundation Give Fund Go. You can make your donation through Give Fund Go, which seems to be a reputable charitable Christian donation. And if you're atheist and or agnostic, don't have any apprehensions, they seem to be the best way of getting the money and the funds to this movement in full support without any issues. Otherwise, you can always go crypto. And big shout out to everyone who refunneled their funds from GoFundMe to Give Fund Go. From what I understand, they've raised over $4 or $5 million already, pretty much practically recouping all of those funds back into the new account. So that's great. It just goes to show that so much, again, with all of these reporters and or in this case, radio personalities coming out and saying, you know what, we had enough, we're lying to you. It just goes to show that what you're consuming is not really the news. It's supposed to be, or used to be, a time where you can trust your news organizations to report the facts, report what's going on, and then at the end of the day, let you decide which path you choose to follow, believe, and or take from it. But now there definitely seems to be an agenda being pushed by these mainstream media outlets, coordinated with and helped with social media. And it just reminds me of the phrase that the way things are, history and or present situations are not the way that the media makes it look like. You have to read between the lines and free your mind and know that so much of what you're seeing on these mainstream outlets, again, whether it be mainstream media, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, ABC, Fox, CNN, which is tanking largely, is coming from such a slanted view and or agenda that you have to fact check them. And you can't even trust the fact checkers anymore, unfortunately. They seem to just be opinion pieces and a lot, but try to get as much information as you can from so many different sources with what's going on. I'm so grateful to see so many people just standing up for their rights, standing up for their freedoms. This is truly great thing to see. As Dr. Robert Malone once mentioned, we are though at an information war going on right now to control what you know, to control what you see and or hear, and by extension control what you know. They're going through a lot of steps by using these trusted media and or radio personalities. So again, good shout out to Kid Carson for being able to get that message out on his way out, which is normally frowned upon and or not allowed. So that's the video. That's all there is to that. Just wanted to point out that there is a revolution, and those who are working in the media are speaking out, and that's a good thing. And again, just to put the message out there or remind you, you have to question everything you're being told and or the slant and the position that things are being fed to you. That's my video. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed. Like this video, comment on this video. This is Bruce the Boss, and I'm out. Peace.